Hi, I'm Katie Ziskind. I own Wisdom Within Counseling in Nyanza, Connecticut. We are a team of creative, holistic marriage and family therapists. You can read more about how we can help your family thrive in unique and different ways at wisdomwithinct.com. In this video, we're going to talk about anger. Anger is something that from 0 to 100 can get the best of you if you let it. One thing that you can do if you're angry is to notice if you're yelling or if you're trying to get your point across in an aggressive way, and to become aware of, why yelling is so bad. This is my little cat. One of them. And yelling is something that causes the other person that you're talking to shut down. So if you yell to try to get your point across, they will often not be able to hear you. So one of the best ways that you can communicate your anger, instead of saying, something hurtful to jab back or something mean, is to own your feelings and say, I feel so hurt by what you just said. I would love to talk with you when you're calm. Saying something like that owns your feelings and tells a healthy boundary to whoever you're working with, but does not blame them. So one thing is notice your language. If you have demon dialogue, vicious cycle of negative conflicts, whether it's you and your teenager or you and your spouse, this is a sign that things will only get worse without therapy. Another way to express your anger, if you are feeling triggered, if you're feeling flooded with jealousy, frustration, hurt, betrayal, fear, all of these different traumatic emotions, if you're feeling like that, the best thing you can do in that moment is to practice self-care and do a self-love skill. Because before you talk with anyone, you want to be calm. You want to be centered and peaceful and develop that inner calm. And the only way you can do that is by paying attention to yourself. So no one outside yourself will make you calmer. You have to develop skills to calm yourself in order to get clear on what you're feeling and thinking, to calmly share that in a verbal way. So we help you kind of slow down those intense processes and develop emotional connection, and overall build a holistic creative coping skill toolbox. So every session is an experience that invites playfulness, joy, art. We have art tables in every office. So hi, Heather. So if you're dealing with anger, know that this is a very human emotion. Oftentimes, we really like to look at what's under the anger. So if you feel triggered or frustrated, notice what's beneath it. Most often, you and maybe your partner or your child are feeling hurt and sad. And that's really what needs to be conveyed. Last but not least, one of my most important tips when it comes to anger is to understand trauma. A lot of times when we get into arguments with hostility, where you feel like you're walking on eggshells around this person or family member, or you don't know what they're going to say or do, and you're kind of wondering if you can trust them, there is this cycle that happens, this vicious cycle. And so one of the best things that you can do is just to turn to yourself and seek therapy and gain healthy communication skills to not only benefit yourself in healthy relationships and meaningful connections, but to also change the pattern. Because a lot of times when we look at relationships, they are patterns that repeat. So maybe your grandpa was an alcoholic and now you've chosen a partner who's an alcoholic, just unconsciously. You don't even realize it. And we're attracted to things that are familiar to us. So if maybe you grew up in a dysfunctional home and there was a lot of family conflict, and now here you are in a relationship and there's conflict, and you might say, hey, I never had teachers to teach me how to do this, so I need the help of a professional counselor or a couples therapist or a teen therapist or child therapist that knows how to work with trauma. Trauma is something that happens as a result of high conflict, aggressive fights. And unless we treat it as a trauma response, that's why a lot of people don't have a good fit for a therapist, is that they're not seeing that holistic view, the whole person. Hi, Anna Mae. And so when it comes to anger, know that there is something beneath it. There is this deep need, right? And we want to be able to communicate that need. I need to feel safe, or I feel so afraid, or, sharing from that place versus, shutting down and withdrawing and not talking, or running away and avoiding and numbing out, or becoming very headstrong and aggressive. So we have fight, flight, and freeze responses that happen when we go through trauma. And when we, whether it's a child sitting in a parental conflict, or, a spouse trying to work with their other, with their partner, whatever it is, if conflict arises, you need positive coping skills to manage that conflict and prevent it from becoming a giant fight. So at Wisdom Within Counseling, we love helping anxious children, depressed teenagers, young adults developing confidence around gender and sexuality, and couples who are stuck in a high conflict marriage cycle. And a big piece here is that we use unique and different therapies in addition to traditional talking. Thanks, Anna Mae. So of course we have Gottman's couples therapy, emotionally focused couples therapy, all of these traditional marriage and family therapy focuses. But then we layer on couples yoga for building mindful connection and healthy touch. Because even scheduling a couple session is scheduled ritual time for your couple bubble. Also, we incorporate art and music for healthy emotional expression to go beyond just talking, go beyond words when talking is not positive anymore. Or maybe to help someone get present. Art could help, someone realize, what feeling they're having. Maybe they don't know how to identify with words. So we use all these different unique and different kind of out-of-the-box approaches to helping people build meaningful, joyful, and healthy relationships with themselves, with a sibling, with a parent, and of course with a romantic partner. Now at Wisdom Within Counseling, we're a group of 4 therapists. So we have Amy, Kim, Emma, and myself. So the best way to get started with, when you have a child who's been through trauma and needs play therapy to express those emotions, or an adolescent with high energy and needing outdoor therapy for ADHD and self-regulation, or even if you're in a marriage and you're really kind of, wondering, needing help getting clear on how to communicate, and that you both love each other and just really need some help breaking that cycle of hostility and really creating and building that playfulness and trust again. So we specialize in marriage and family therapy and use creative art, yoga, music, and outdoor walk and talk therapies by the beach to help build a sense of self-love and self-confidence for lifelong emotional wellness. So no matter what feeling you have, no matter where you are in the world, you can always have access to your therapist over video and phone as well. And at Wisdom Within Counseling, you can get started with a phone consultation completely free to hear how we could help you reach your goals at wisdomwithinct.com. That's wisdomwithinct.com. So head on over there, click book your free phone consultation, and you can get scheduled with myself or with Emily, our intake coordinator, for child therapy, to help your teenager build self-esteem, to help your young adult navigate moving, career, and have a healthy partnership with their significant other, and navigate different milestones in young adult years, like buying a home or getting married and having children. So there's these steps that where the couple bubble is challenged. And we specialize with high conflict couples who are stuck walking on eggshells in a vicious cycle of fighting, anger, and hurt, and really need help developing an emotionally meaningful couple bond. So you can read more about family therapy and marriage counseling at wisdomwithinct.com. Hope you have a great day and enjoyed these anger tips. I'm Katie Ziskind, the owner of Wisdom Within Counseling in Niantic. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, child specialist, and teen therapist, and I specialize with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. I also specialize with high conflict couples. Those are some of my unique and different areas of focus, and I also bring art, yoga, music, and outdoor walking sessions in addition to that traditional talking. And you can book your phone consultation to work with Amy, Kim, Emma, or myself to build confidence and clarity and to help your family thrive through holistic counseling at wisdomwithinct.com. I'm Katie Ziskind, and I hope you have a great night.